What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. I am your host and player one, Andrew, and I've got another special guest. Not really special guest. I guess you're kind of special. You're special to me.
Thank you.
You're my co-host for today. My buddy, Matthew Duberman,
hey,
who
what's up?
I will just call Duby throughout this entire thing.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
And did you hear that awesome music? Finally got a theme song. I mean, I didn't hear it playing because it's going to be edited in. Did you hear that nothingness? That beautiful nothingness.
Wonderful. Rockin' 8-bit right there.
So, how was your week, Duby? Well, first of all, Duby, who are you?
Who am I?
You want to tell these people who you are?
Well, I'm a gamer like Andrew. I know him since through high school. Playing all kinds of good stuff. Shadow of the Colossus, Pokémon. You name it, we played it pretty much in the past. Every system, all the time.
Yeah. And what have you been playing this week anyway? You want to start off?
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon since it just came out. Pokemon Gen 7, Sun and Moon, in the Alola region, taking a vacation in the Alola region. It's been pretty nice. Catching all kinds of new stuff. Really, that's the only thing that's come out recently for me, so that's what I've been on all the time, so...
Who did you start off? I mean, I know, but nobody else knows.
I started off with the grass starter. I know that's a little cliche. Everybody says that everybody started with the grass starter, but...
Is it cliche?
Everybody started with the grass starter. That's like the super popular one that I've been hearing about. I love the grass starter. Freaking Rowlet all the way. I don't even know what else to say about it.
Popplio, bro.
Stat-wise, yeah, Popplio is the other one. For some reason, either go like Rowlet because it's really cool, or Popplio because it's really cute. Not a lot of people I heard online, I read this online actually, not a lot of people picked Litten, but...
Really?
Yeah, not a lot of people picked Litten. But like stat-wise, it's probably the best one, defensive and attack-wise, so I don't know, there was just not a lot of love for the fire starter this time around, which is odd.
It wasn't a fighting type, though.
Yeah, thank God it wasn't a fighting type.
It was dark.
Oh,
but it
my
was like
God.
a wrestler. It was a dark wrestler.
It was freaking awesome, man, and it was a good game. You know, I enjoyed it. I felt like it was a lot more personal than any of the other Pokemon games that I played before.
Also, no spoilers.
I won't put any spoilers in there at all. It was a lot more personal because it's really about you as the player on your own journey through this region, which is really nice.
Is it like always like that though?
Yeah, it is, but you know, there was no, like, you know, if anybody played any of the other games, like Gen 3, Gen 3 was like, you know, the team was trying to destroy the environment. Gen 4 was like, they're trying to take over, make a new galaxy. Or yeah, they were trying to go to another dimension and take over the universe or something like that. And then Gen 5 was...
In 4?
In 4, yeah. Yeah. It just...
I don't know. I think he was trying to, like, reset... No, he was trying to make a new universe, right?
Yeah, for himself. And then Gen 5 was like... about them trying to like free Pokemon from like...
It was all about beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was 6, sorry.
No, 5 was about them trying to like free Pokemon from the tyranny of humans and stuff like that.
Team PETA.
Yeah, Team PETA. And yeah, they threw like sheep blood on you when you didn't do what they say. And but Gen 7 was really just your personal journey, which was interesting. But I wouldn't rank it on one of my top favorites, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't rank it my top favorite one.
Where would you rank it then, if you have a rank?
My favorite was Gen 3. And I even loved the remakes. I always loved those, yeah. And and Gen 5 I really enjoyed too. And then Gen 4, and then I'd rank Gen 7, to be honest with you. Then Gen 6, and then Gen 7.
See, for me, 5 is definitely up there.
Yeah, 5 was good. 6 was good too.
It's the story.
6 was good too, because it was like had that war that they had in the past and stuff like that, which was interesting. It gave it that extra layer of storyline, which was really good.
You think that has anything to do with the war that Lieutenant Surge mentioned? Or is that more of like a recent
I think that's an
war?
urban myth. I don't think that's really...
No, but he was in a war.
Yeah, that's what they say, but I
He's that old.
Yeah, I don't think that's... I don't think that's really...
Secretly, Lieutenant Surge is, was his name X?
N.
No, the other guy. AZ.
Oh, AZ? No way, yeah, right. Actually, it's probably N's father or something like that. Who the hell knows?
I don't know, Getsus wasn't his father, right?
No, and again, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to even talk about the plot lines because I don't know who played it.
Full name.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But don't spoil anything, remember. Because I don't know who played it and who didn't. So
yeah, but that's not a spoiler. It's just he had a name that was like... I don't know if it was mentioned in passing or not.
I don't know.
And I'm not gonna look it up. I don't care enough. I think it was a flower or something. It started with an N.
I don't remember.
But there was a theory at the time that N was a Zoroark.
Yeah, I remember that
And
too.
the N was
but
like the
that's,
Z.
I think that's one of those other myths, like Ash had a coma, and that's why he doesn't age, kind of thing.
Well, that was more like a prediction before the game came out.
I don't think it's something that would really.
Well, not anymore because it was disproven.
Yeah. True.
There was, what was it? There was a lot of stuff about people thinking that the Ultra Beasts were either connected to or were a lot of the human characters in the newest game, but there really wasn't.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I that's what I mean by the extra layers. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I was expecting something more. Like even the remake of Pokemon of the 3rd generation. If anybody played that, they talk about different universes and different gateways, and parallel universes and. And I was like, wow, that's actually really cool. You can really link that to the other games, and that I guess it's a retcon if you think about it, but it really puts things in puzzle pieces and adds extra layers. And I thought, especially since they hinted on the Pokemon site that UB01 was mimicked a little girl, and there was so much that they linked it to Lily, and there was so many of the other Ultra Beasts that they linked to other characters in the game. But there really wasn't any link to them. And I was a little disappointed at that because I felt like they could have really stepped it up. And
I'm wondering... No, I'm going to try and say this without spoiling anything. But I'm wondering if the reason for UB1's description of being like a little girl has something to do with what Lusamine was obsessed over.
I'm not quite sure.
Whether she was reaching out for, and I can't really get too deep into this prediction / theory without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like what she, I guess, wanted, or what she was looking for, could have been emulated more so through the fact that UB01 looked like Lily. I guess that's one way of putting it without spoiling anything.
Yeah. But it wasn't just UB01 though. It was UB02 looked like Lusamine, and that was the beauty one. UB02 beauty looked like Lusamine, and UB03 lightning looked like Guzma. And there was so many parallels to so many characters. Even Gluttony looked like the first Kahuna. And
Hala.
Yeah, Hala, thank you. And and they didn't make those, and even though they look so much like them, they could have made those connections like, oh, the Ultra Beasts are actually humanoid Pokemon, but they didn't, and I felt that was very lacking in storyline. I felt that was really a miss. They could have that could have been a home run, and really added those extra things to it and to the storyline, and it really didn't. And I don't know, they could come out with a 3rd game like they've done in the past. And they could add that in, but it really was. They kind of dropped the ball on that. I thought it would have really been interesting.
Yeah, unless if Pokemon Stars is actually something coming out.
Yeah,
they could wind up expanding on it.
Yeah, and they got something coming out for what's it called? What's the Switch? The Switch. Thank you. Yeah, for the Switch. So who knows? They may decide to add to it. Maybe. I don't know what to say about it. They may decide to switch to it, to add to it, to switch to it.
Switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up.
And I'm still trying to. Still people don't know what Necrozma is. Nobody knows.
Yeah, Necrozma was kind of weird. It kind of reminded me of Zygarde. For anybody who played the 6th gen, Zygarde was kind of just thrown in there at the end. For Legendary, it had crappy stats, and it really had a crappy ability, and nobody
Zygarde
really...
had crappy stats?
Oh, it had terrible stats. It was just this defensive Pokemon for a Legendary. I'm not speaking in terms of regular Pokemon. It's a Legendary Pokemon. Xerneas and Yveltal kicked the crap out of Zygarde. It had that Aura Break, so I guess putting Xerneas and Yveltal against it wouldn't have been the best thing, but it wasn't a great ability because it was so specific to those two, and its stat-wise was just so bad. And, you know, then all of a sudden, they just kind of added Zygarde into this game, into Gen 7. And again, you know, I love what they did. It's a very unique way of finding a legendary Pokemon. You have to capture all the cells and cores. There's about 100 of all of them. And that's great. When you get all 100, you get this perfect Zygarde, which is really cool. But they didn't really go into any storyline. I have no idea why Zygarde was in that region. It's just kind of there. And I was like, well, this is cool, but like, where are they going with this, you know?
Well, you can say the same thing about any legendary in all the regions throughout the game.
I
That's
suppose.
like, maybe their appearance is non-canon, and it's just for you to collect.
Yeah.
But the fact that Zygarde specifically was introduced in this game as having the complete form makes you think that maybe it's more so canon in this scenario.
Yeah.
Because they specifically introduce new things.
Yeah, and they say that Zygarde's complete form shows itself when there's some kind of like natural calamity or something like that. So you'd think that because of what's going on with the Ultra Beasts, because of what's going on with the Ultra Beasts, that it kind of just traveled there. That's the assumption you could really make. But
The ocean.
Yeah, it kind of
It went from Paris to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's just really odd. Like there's never any backstory of how it got there. But that's how I feel like Necrozma is. It's kind of just there. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is really no reason for Necrozma to be there except to be the third legendary. Even though it looks like an Ultra Beast.
And it's hinted at, but we don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, even the legendaries, Lunala and Solgaleo, are hinted at being Ultra Beasts, which is very odd. You know, some of the legendaries, you know, they hint at, which is, I thought this was pretty cool. If you look around in the game, they actually make hints at interdimensional Pokemon, such as Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia.
I remember in one of the houses or one of
I think it was the Aether House or something like that.
Yeah, there was some specific shelter area, like a house, museum, school, some area where they spoke about different. One of them actually I didn't even realize was what's its name? The bell thing.
The bell thing.
The bell Pokemon. That like giant bell. It's like psychic steel.
Oh, Bronzong.
Yeah, they said Bronzong.
Or Bronzor or something like that. I think Bronzong is the second one.
Yeah. When it brings down rain, the rain comes from a different dimension.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, really?
Yeah, I remember that. And that's odd.
Like, what's that other dimension?
Yeah. So I mean,
it's the world that was flooded by Kyogre.
Yeah, right? Or maybe it's like Hyrule.
So it's actually adding water to the world. So
it's another dimension. Yeah.
So the more Bronzongs keep making rain, eventually the world will just be filled with water because it's just adding water. It's not like evaporating water that's coming down from the same area.
Yeah, like they
adding water to the world.
They better bring like something to like get rid of all the Bronzong so the world doesn't get flooded. You know.
I wonder if that other dimension has something that like does the opposite.
Yeah, but I thought that was cool because that added a whole like, you know, oh, these past legendaries are all of a sudden from another dimension. And does that make the other legendaries Ultra Beasts, or does that make the Ultra Beast introduced in this game regular Pokemon? Because, again...
There are multiples.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are multiple Pokemon, multiple Ultra Beasts that come through and attack, multiple of the same type, which is interesting. And even, you know, it's like, oh, I mean, maybe they're just regular Pokemon. And for us, they're special because we only get like... You know, they just show up every 100 years.
Because they don't exist in our world.
Yeah, but they could actually be regular Pokemon.
You can argue the same thing, I guess, about Clefairy or Porygon or something where they're special, but they're not legendary.
Yeah.
Like Clefairy comes from the moon, but it's like...
Yeah. There are a couple. Iglem, too, is another one. Is that how you say it? Iglem?
Oh, iGym or something?
Yeah, the UFO-looking one, the alien-looking one. There's
a lot of extraterrestrial Pokemon.
Yeah, Deoxys was another one. Deoxys, too. It kind of just showed up.
Yeah, but that one's specifically legendary. I don't know.
Well, now it's legendary. It was mythical. It was. Yeah,
I don't know how they decide it.
I don't know. I mean...
They throw darts at a dartboard, and they're like, Pikachu's legendary now.
Yeah. Well, Deoxys was made originally... I don't know if you read the manga. I know you read some of the manga, right?
Adventures?
Yeah, you read some of it, right?
I read a lot of it.
Okay, so Deoxys was made from Red's DNA.
Okay, I didn't get up to that yet.
Okay. I mean, that was something that that happened. I thought you read that. That's back in Johto
No,
or the third
I
gen.
only
Sinnoh.
started Gen 3.
Oh no, Hoenn. Wow. I'm sorry, Sinnoh. That's the fourth. No, Hoenn's Gen 3.
So I started it.
Oh, all right.
I just didn't get that far yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry to ruin it for you then. And anybody else who's listening, I apologize in advance. But I forget exactly what happens, but I'm pretty sure that Giovanni takes Red's DNA and like melds it with like a meteor from space and makes Deoxys. I think that's what happens if I remember correctly.
I remember seeing an image of Deoxys and Mewtwo fighting.
Yeah, he makes Deoxys in order to take out Mewtwo. I think. It's been a very long time since I read that, and I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on that. Anybody.
Giovanni's in the Gen 3 adaptation?
In that part, in the Deoxys part. It really has nothing to do with Garudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. It's kind of just its own arc.
It might be Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Maybe.
That makes more sense because Red is involved.
Probably. You're probably
and Giovanni.
Right. And I mean, again, like I said, don't quote me on this because I haven't read a lot of it. I haven't read a lot of it. So that's what I think happened. That's what I've heard happened. But
now I was kind of hoping that they would make a connection with Gen 4 for a potential remake by doing by saying that the Ultra Space, where the Ultra Beast came from, was the Distortion world. Well, but it seems like they're not the same.
Yeah, it seems they're not the same, and they didn't. And like I said, they made reference to Giratina and Dialga and Palkia, which were the legendaries for Gen 4. So that was really the only connection that I found. There was a lot of connection with the Kanto region, obviously, which was interesting.
Yeah, I think they did that for the anniversary though, because they noticed a lot of fans were really into Gen 1.
I'm sure.
Because I remember reading something on why they were only doing Alolan forms for Gen 1.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people...
Which is awesome, those Alolan forms.
Yeah.
It's actual evolution in Pokemon.
Did you have a favorite?
I did. It was definitely Ninetales, actually.
I didn't use it, but I really liked Ninetales.
Oh, Ninetales is awesome.
I really liked Alolan Raichu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just the Raichu that a big part of why I liked it was because I didn't have to teach it in HM.
Yeah.
I would always teach Raichu strength.
Oh yeah, thank God the HMs were TMs in this game, and I didn't have to teach it to them.
Yeah.
And you actually had like the Pokemon Ride feature. That
might have been the greatest addition in that game.
It really was. Yeah, no, I really loved it, and the fact that there was so much lore. If anybody, I know sometimes people like play through the game and they don't really read the Pokedexes, but I actually read some of the Pokedex entries, and they really went into this ecosystem of Alola where the Pokemon are in their own like biodome, which is actually really cool because I think one of them
Wait,
I think one of them,
biodome?
yeah, like I'll tell you, like I think one of them was Sableye, and in Sableye's description it says like it tries to steal Carbinks because of their gems, but Gabite always steals it first.
Oh,
and I thought that was really cool because
it is really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool because it talks about how like all these Pokemon, three Pokemon interact with each other, and a lot of the Dex entries were like that, which I was like, I found that
more like animals.
Yeah, I found that really cool, and I love that. Pokemon to me was they talk about evolution. Charmander becomes Charmeleon, becomes Charizard. But if any
like
biologist,
the next step.
Yeah. But any biologists out there, I'm a biologist. Any biologists out there know that that's not real evolution. That's actually more like metamorphosis.
More like Digivolution.
Yeah, it's more like Digievolution. It's not real evolution. It's like a caterpillar becoming a cocoon.
Digimon.
Yeah. But to add the Alolan forms in this,
I wonder if it's called evolution in Japan. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
But to add the Alolan forms into this, and have a Vulpix that changed, that adapted to its natural climate to become an ice type, I love that.
There's actually a lot of fan art going around for a long time before Gen 7, with regional variants of different Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that might have inspired the art team. Or is
it might have. I really don't know. I didn't even know there was art out there.
Really?
No,
I've seen a lot of art with like a
what if?
Like more like a tropical variant of said Pokemon and like a mountainous variant of said Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so there were like different styles. Like,
yeah.
People drew Pokemon in different styles based on
that's
those
pretty cool.
regions.
I didn't know people did that.
And that became like a popular thing. lately, I don't know within the past couple of years, I don't know when that started, but I'm wondering if that inspired it.
That'd be pretty cool. And if it has, those people should keep making more pictures and artwork, so maybe it'll inspire them more to do more, because I loved it. I thought it was a great little thing that they added to it. You know, and the extra information, the Pokedexes, to like, you know, to really learn about the Pokemon as a species. You know, as like animals, you know, like, oh, like that feeds on Magikarp, you know, like you actually like, you kind of like learned what they do, which is pretty cool. You know, they're not just monsters you keep in your pocket, which is cool too, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
what do you think of the Z powers?
Z powers were interesting.
It sounds like it makes the metagame more difficult.
You know, there was a lot of new mechanics added to this version of the game. Z powers included. And there were a lot of new abilities added to the game. I can name one. I forgot what the name's called, but Bruxish. How do you even say that?
I think it's Bruxish.
Bruxit. Wow, I can't talk right now. Bruxish. Thank you. That Pokemon's ability stops priority moves. Now, people are like, oh, whatever, you know, but that actually changes a lot of the metagame. Even Salazzle's ability, Corrosion, can poison metal types and other poison types, which has never been seen before.
Who couldn't be poisoned? What types can't be poisoned?
Metal and poison.
Steel and poison?
Steel and poison.
What about ground?
Ground can be poisoned. Anything else can be poisoned, except for steel.
Are you sure ground?
Positive. Except for steel.
Ground isn't affected by poison moves, right?
You sure? No, I don't think so. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. No, the only ones that can't be affected are steel and poison types. And, I mean, Salazzle actually has corrosion, which makes it possible to poison those. So that is just, that changes a lot. I mean, of course you have to use Salazzle because it's the only one that has it. But Salazzle's a good Pokemon. I've used it, actually.
I think the reason why I get confused with the ground is because of Nidoking, and I remember...
Well, it's a poison type.
Right, it's poison and ground. And I remember, I don't know if it was my Nidoking or another one, but I remember a while back in one of the gens, in one of the games, trying to poison a Nidoking.
Yeah.
Or a Nidoking that I had was
yeah, but it was a poison type, and that's why
it wasn't working. And I wasn't sure if it was because it was poison or ground.
No, it's the poison. It's the poison. It's definitely steel and poison. So anyway, Z crystals do add this really interesting mechanic to it. You only use it once per battle. And in that instance,
too tired. Like, oh, I can't use any Z powers until someone challenges me again.
Yeah. You burn it out. You only get one. Sounds like something else, but you only get one.
My Z soul has been burnt out.
Yeah. That sounds like you only get one.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. But it adds a little extra something because you do get Megastones in this game. And Megastones act like they always acted. So you could actually use one Z Crystal and one Megastone per battle, which is pretty cool. The only thing I did not like about Z Crystals was, again, the storyline was just lacking. Gen 6 went into like all this backstory about the Megastones. Oh, they mean this. They're the connection between you and your Pokemon. And then Alpha Sapphire went into more with the Red and the Blue Stone with Kyogre Groudon. Like, oh, that's the connection of them with nature. And there was just so much lore and backstory.
Which games did you mention just now?
I mentioned Gen 6 because that's when the Megastones were included. Right. That's where they first came in.
Okay.
And then Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby because that's where they really went into the backstory about them.
Yeah.
And I like that. I mean, I like that extra storyline. And there was no storyline for the Z Crystals at all. They just kind of showed up. They were like, welcome to Alola region. Here's your Z Crystal.
Tapus give them out?
Tapu Koko.
Originally, did it originate from the Tapus?
Again, no spoiler there.
That's in the very beginning of the game.
But we don't know who played it. But Tapu Koko kind of just...
if you play it, it happens right away. It happens.
Yeah. Tapu Koko just kind of like gives you your Z transformer. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's like a Z-ring. Yeah, it's like a Power Ranger transformer. And that's it.
We're up.
Yeah, you call out your dinosaur and you transform. And it's just there's no backstory at all. It's just there. You collect them. They act as your badges, which means that after you get a certain amount, up to a certain Pokemon level, will obey you. Just like the badges. And how many are there?
Did you use
18?
the Greninja with the There's 18 elemental
18
ones.
elements, and then the specific
Yeah.
ones, specific species ones.
Did you use Battle Bond, Greninja?
I did.
I didn't use him.
I started with
So I'd like
Rowlet.
to know how he was throughout the game.
Yeah, no, it was good. I used Rowlet, and I was looking for a water type, a good water type. There are a lot of water types in this game. Like, there are always a lot of water types, but nothing really struck me. I'm trying to think. It was like, what? Oh, no, well, there was a couple. There was like 3 or 4. None of them really came to me, but since Greninja had Ash's OT, you know, if you trade a Pokemon...
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It really doesn't make sense. Well, actually, if you watch the anime, for anybody who watched the anime, I used to watch it when I was a kid, but I stopped watching it. But I still keep up with it on Cerebi.com or Cerebi.net, right? Cerebi.net. You guys should just check that site out. It's great. But I keep up with it there. I keep up with Ash. He's a horrible Pokemon trainer, and he gives away everything he possibly can. At the end of Gen 6, he actually gave away his Greninja. He left it in Kalos. And then if anybody plays the demo of Sun and Moon before they play the game, you actually start by moving into your house, and you get a package from a mysterious trainer. It happens to be Greninja, and it happens to be Ash's.
See, my interpretation of that is that since we're dealing with multiple dimensions or realities, that the anime is different from the video games, but there's a version of Ash in the video game world somewhere.
I know.
He's probably
I know.
not nearly as important because Ash isn't important anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure he's in every single video game, but nobody's found him because that's how unimportant he is.
He's just an NPC.
But
he's youngster Joey.
Yeah, probably.
Youngster Ash.
But
he only has Rattata because he gave away Greninja.
Yeah, probably. But I was never a big fan of them. What, did he?
I don't know. I'm saying youngster Joey, his backstory is he used to have Greninja.
Yeah, right.
He gave it away to some random person.
To me. Yeah, to me.
Mm-hmm. I like shorts too.
I don't love the fact that they added so much from the anime into the games. I really don't. It just irks me to no end.
Really?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know if anybody out there doesn't like it either, but I hate that they changed Pikachu's growl to be the Pikachu sound from the anime. I hate it. I
like it as a sound, but I don't like it as something different than all the other Pokemon.
Exactly. There was no reason to do that.
If you changed every Pokemon's growl to the anime version,
but that's so
then it's okay.
Terrible.
But you can't change one.
Come on. You don't want a Charmander walking around going, Charmander! You know, it's just, no you don't. That's, it's so bad.
Unless there's an option.
And again, going back to Greninja. Greninja was great, because it was a different OT, it leveled up fast. And, its ability was great. I mean, you take out one Pokemon and it transformed, so it was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was really cool, and it's the ability of Battle Bond
has a connection with Ash. So whenever Greninja gets hurt,
yeah,
Ash gets hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, right?
Ash is just like laying in bed and he's like, ah, I'm fainting.
But it powered up the Water Shuriken, which is pretty cool because it hits more than once. So, I mean, that attack hitting multiple times can kill a lot of things. So that was a pretty good staple in my team. I used.
What was your team by the end?
I used Decidueye, which is the evolved form of Rowlet, Greninja, Komo-O, which is the pseudo legendary. I used Ninetales because it's Ninetales.
Or Alolan Ninetales to be specific.
Alolan Ninetales. And
That's
Salazzle.
4, right?
Salazzle, yeah, that's 4. Salazzle was 5. And then I threw in Palisand. I don't know why. Palisand was kind of Palisand was kind of just my 6th, and I didn't use him. He was just there.
I tried to mix mine up a bit.
Yeah. Well, he had a ground type, so I kind of wanted to throw the ground type in. But between the 5, I mean, it was a grass ghost, a water dark, a fire poison, a ice fairy, and a dragon fighting. I mean, that pretty much covered every type that I needed. So I pretty much just wrecked it with 4.
I had Primarina.
Yeah.
As I like to pronounce it, because it makes more sense that way to me.
Okay, that's fine.
Like,
you want to be that way.
It's Prim, and it's like a Marina, which is a real word.
I thought it was Primarina, like a prima donna, but that's what I
but Marina.
Yeah, Marina.
Like, it should be more like Marina, right? Because that's an actual word.
Either way, you gotta do what you gotta do. You can do what you
An
gotta do.
ocean-related word.
It's okay, and Arceus is actually Arceus. That's how I like to say it. But
no, but it's not. But I like to say Arceus, but okay. Primarna, so that was my fairy water.
Yeah.
Then who else did I use? I had Serena, so that was grass. I had Midnight Rockruff, which Rockruff or Lichen Rock, sorry. So that was
the Midnight
rock.
one?
Yeah.
You caught it later on in Pawnee Canyon then. The Midnight one.
No, I had Moon.
Oh, you had Moon. Oh.
You always think I had Sun.
Might be. I'm sorry.
You had Moon, right?
I had Moon too, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know why I thought you had Sun. My bad.
I always think it's a rock type.
It is a rock type.
I mean, I always think it's a dark type, but it's a rock.
No.
And it even has a dark move. I gave it Crunch. So that's 3. Who else did I have? Alolan Marowak, so I had my Ghost Fire.
Nice.
Alolan Raichu, so I had Electric, Psychic.
Yeah.
And there's one more. Oh shoot! I say Primarina.
You said Primarina. You said Serena. Raichu,
Marowak.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
Lycanroc.
Stop looking at me.
And what was the last
So
one?
maybe call the cops.
Don't do it! I'll make me call them. Why can't...
I don't know. Point is, you beat the game though. So
Yeah. I know I said it in one of the last podcasts.
that's okay. So the people are keeping track of them.
Any of the 1 or 2 people who listen will be like, "It's this one, damn it!"
1 or 2.
Yeah. This is bothering me now.
It's all right. It's not even. It's so like you
Where
beat
am I?
it and it's done. So that's good. But it was a good game in the end. It was good. Not one of my favorites, but it was good. So
This is really bothering me.
keep going.
All right. Well, other than Pokemon, I started and beat in 2 days, in 2 sittings, The Last Guardian.
You beat it in 2 days.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
It was
How could you beat it in 2 days?
because
I watched you play for an hour. It looked mad hard.
it got easier, but
Really?
it was hard.
It looked really difficult because if anybody's played like the other games from Team Ico, right? That's what they are,
Ico,
right? Team
yeah.
Ico. I love Shadow of the Colossus. It was great. It was like my favorite. I played it like 100,000 times.
I'll tell you one thing though, they did not make any obvious connections between the other 2 games.
They never do.
I still don't know where it takes place in the timeline.
Well, they
if
never
at all.
do. I mean, Ico was Shadow of the Colossus was a prequel to Ico,
Yeah, it led into Equal.
and this I mean, I didn't play it. I watched you play it for a couple hours. So I don't know. You tell me. What'd you think of it? How did it? What'd you think?
It was fun. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, they took so long to make it that.
But there was, I feel like, I think they did this on purpose though, so that you felt like you were, in a place unfamiliar to you.
Yeah.
But by the end of the game, the full story of they introduce things to you. So by the end of the game, like what's going on is still very up in the air and unanswered.
Okay.
In terms of like what's going around your main character,
Okay.
like why certain things happen.
Interesting.
And it's very like unanswered, and I'm wondering if that was done on purpose to make
Most likely.
to make you feel like you were like dropped in this place you don't know, and you like in the shoes of the main character. You know?
Most likely, because knowing their past games, like I played the other 2, they were very open ended. Nobody really knows. Like I said, they said Shadow of the Colossus was a prequel to Ico, but there really isn't any connection to be made except for maybe the ruins and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah,
there's no connection, and everything's very open ended.
it's very much told through the perspective of the boy throughout the entire game. So by the end of the game, it's like they didn't really give you any other perspectives except for like maybe one from the creature Trico.
Really?
Yeah, like you kind of like you got like this. You get the backstory of like what led to like where you are, like where you wake up in the beginning.
Yeah.
And like how you got there and how Trico got there chained up. But it's still like very much like, so why did this happen and why did that happen? And it's like you kind of just get this backstory.
Yeah.
And like everything is told through the boy's perspective, and you're just like, okay, so by the end, I still don't know like why I was taken there.
What the deal is with this?
Yeah.
What's up with this?
And so like throughout the game, it's narrated by an older voice. That's obviously you could tell it's like the boy older.
Yeah.
And by the end of the game, you realize he's telling a story.
Yeah.
To like, in the very beginning, like the first shot is like this one of the objects like in the dirt that's like becomes an important object in the game, and you see like the shadow loom over it, and that's when it kind of goes into the game, if you remember. So by the end of the game, it's not really a spoiler. It's like the boy is older and he was telling the story to some kids who found the mirror. So like he was telling the story to them.
Gotcha. That's what it sounded like in the beginning too. I mean, I watched you play it. I watched you start it, but
So it wasn't really like a huge revelation. You get to see him older though. Like
that's pretty nice.
So cool. Obviously, he doesn't die or anything.
Well, yeah,
because he's telling the story.
Yeah, you know from the beginning that he doesn't die. But
but you don't know, and I'm not saying one way or the other, but you don't know what happens to Trico.
Right.
All you know, going in, that happens at the end, is that the boy survives.
Yeah,
he's telling the story.
Yeah. I can't believe you beat it in 2 days. That's crazy.
2 sittings.
2 sittings.
Which was
so it could have been like it could have been 4 days with 2 sittings.
It could have. No, but I got a trophy for beating it in under 15 hours. But I did not get the trophy for beating it under 5.
Oh my god!
So it's got to be somewhere between 5 and 15.
Oh my god! How do you beat that in 5 hours?
Patience.
You know,
I say that because some of the controls get frustrating.
Oh my god! Like I remember in the remakes of the PlayStation 3 for Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, they had a trophy in Eco for beating it in under like 2 hours, and I'm like, are you out of your minds? Like, how am I supposed to do that? I watch
somebody do it just to be amazed.
I actually did watch it, and the guy was a freaking. I mean, he did. There are a lot of tricks to like kind of glitch through walls and stuff to make.
But like,
things
how would you do it
faster.
without glitching?
I don't think you can. I don't know. I really don't know.
One of the things I'm still waiting to see is there are trophies that mention costumes and like alternate costumes.
And there's new one?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And another trophy for like painting Trico. So I'm like, so how do I do that?
That's got to be DLC
when
coming
I beat the game. Well, when I beat the game, and I remember seeing on a message board or something, somebody mentioned, oh, I already unlocked the costume. I'm like, I don't know how do you unlock costumes?
I don't know.
But when you beat the game, it automatically goes into the next game. And I don't know if it's a new game plus or just a new game. So, like, my data is now at the beginning of the game.
Well, in Shadow of the Colossus, when you beat the game for one time, it starts you off back at the beginning, but you keep all the health and stamina upgrades that you had during the first game.
There were upgrades in that game.
There probably wasn't, but the point I'm trying to make is it kind of carried over a second time.
So maybe that's how you.
And you can keep continuing the game over and over and over and over again. And if you want to try time attacks to get weapons and stuff, and health upgrades until you eventually get everything, and you can go visit the secret garden. Again, I guess spoilers for anybody who didn't play Shadow of the Colossus. There's a secret garden on top of the temple that you can go, but you need to max everything out. But yeah, I mean, since they added that to Shadow of the Colossus, I don't know if they added that to Eco, but it's possible that they added something like that in. If you beat in a certain amount of times, I'm sure there are secrets in these games because they are well known for there being secrets in these games.
There are some really cool theories going from Shadow of the Colossus to Eco.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been out so long now that I'm not too worried about saying any spoilers for Shadow of the Colossus and Eco.
Yeah, you never know.
But I do kind of want to stay away from that in case the one or two people listening.
You never know. You never know. It's great. I met people who didn't play it, who should play it, because Team Eco really does a fantastic job. Even on the PlayStation 2, when those two games came out, was Eco for the PlayStation or PlayStation 2? Eco.
2.
It was for 2 also?
Yeah.
Okay, even on the PlayStation 2 for those games, the graphics were fantastic. They really immerse you in this world. You don't know where you are. You're exploring everything for the first time. And it's just wonderful. And just watching you play Last Guardian, the graphics were phenomenal.
They were.
I hated that I had to wait so long for it, but I mean, you can see the individual feathers moving in the wind on the Trico, on the creature.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, that is just unbelievable.
Oh, one of the things I think are considered upgrades, but I don't think they carry over.
Yeah.
There's these little barrels of like blue energy that are food for Trico.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently you get a trophy for giving them all to Trico by the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But every time you feed one, a little bit more of its horns grow back because its horns are broken.
Yeah.
And something with its wings too. So I think by the end of the game, if it eats all the barrels,
Wow.
its horns are fully grown back and its wings are okay.
So maybe there's like a secret ending.
I looked that up. I didn't see anything about it.
Did anybody do it?
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. I wouldn't have known that.
And I know I missed some because I remember when you were playing. I mean, when I was playing and you were watching, and I was like, "Do I need to bring these barrels to Trico?" And it's like I brought one and ate it, and like it continued going. I'm like, I guess not. I just kept going.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And that's probably why they're giving you a second game, because you probably
but
could
it's
miss.
just like it's some of the stuff in like whatever store you can dig out of that game is like. You're kind of like, well, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Like, so then if I'm doing this, like, if I can do this, like, why can't I do this with this other thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most I can say without spoiling.
Yeah, right.
And that's definitely a game I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the experience.
Yeah, and I'd love to play it at one point if you'd go out and buy me a PlayStation 4, that'd be great.
Done. Here it is.
And
though I did hear that it's better on the PlayStation 4 Pro. PS4
oh
Pro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
something with the frame rate.
Well, you could definitely go buy me one of each then.
One of each. Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, it's something I'd love to play. I'm looking forward to God of War 4.
Shoot.
And
4.
yeah, and
I don't think it's just called God of War now.
I don't even know. I don't know what it is. And I'm looking forward to. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I haven't played the other Assassin's Creed for the PlayStation 4, but I played them all up through the PlayStation 3. I'm looking forward to the movie coming out. It looks pretty cool.
Well, actually, we don't know anything about the movie.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical.
Oh, Assassin's Creed? I think
Assassin's Creed.
about God of War.
I was a little, no, not the movie for God of War. No, Assassin's Creed.
Is there going to be a movie?
They said there was, but they didn't. I haven't seen anything about it. But I was a little skeptical about it, but it looks pretty cool. I like the actors in it. It looks like it's going to be a cool action movie. A lot of assassinations, a lot of knives in people's faces. And that's what Assassin's Creed's about.
Creed.
A lot of Creed, and that's what Assassin's Creed is about. So it looks pretty cool. So
actually, one of the things I wanted to bring up was thoughts on the Nintendo Switch.
I like the Nintendo Switch. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that you can sit at a console, play it for a couple hours, and then you go to your buddy's house and bring it with you on a handheld.
I like the concept, but I'm afraid of the potential frame rate dropping, the graphics dropping.
Oh, it will. There's no way you're gonna go from an HD television to a handheld and the graphics aren't gonna change.
And battery life.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure that while you have the thing attached to the console, it's probably gonna charge.
I think in theory, in concept wise,
it's awesome
like the best
concept-wise.
thing,
Yeah.
like the best console.
Ever.
It's also handheld.
Ever.
But,
But you're right.
but the actual results might not be that.
Yeah.
And I hope they are.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Did you see any of the? Well, you saw the trailer teaser
for
the Switch.
I did.
They showed some games.
I did.
And
Zelda all the way.
Yeah.
Forever and ever.
Are you gonna get a Switch?
Maybe one day. Right now can't.
Yeah.
But maybe one day. My brother's.
I might hold off on it.
Yeah.
Just to see how it sells.
Yeah. I mean,
it does.
That's probably the best way to look at it when it first.
Your
comes
brother's
out.
probably gonna get it, right?
My brother, yeah, I have a brother. He's thinking about getting it. If that's the case, I will definitely be getting the Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda, and playing it on his console. And then I will not have to get a Switch because I would have played the game I wanted to play.
Yeah. Apparently there was a reliable source
Mm-hmm.
that mentioned that the port of Smash Bros. For the Switch is going to have a select new characters. Like an unknown number of new characters.
Really?
And that's got me thinking, like, who it could possibly be.
You-
And I was thinking, you know, the last time they introduced a new character, they had the Smash Ballot. So Nintendo knows
Yeah.
what characters people want,
Yeah.
and they also have they have the information, and they also want to they have the information,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna want to exploit that. They're gonna
Yeah.
want to play that up for selling a new system.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really say. So, I don't know. I'm not
But-
really sure.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
it does well.
Yeah, no, I'd like it to. You know, I'm a big fan of Smash Bros. I have no idea what other characters they could possibly add. They've added so much already. There's always new characters, I suppose. I could always pull characters out of their humongous library.
My ass.
Um,
Pulled out of my ass.
they could pull it out of your ass if you just stand up and let us pull it out. But, yeah, no, there's tons of characters that they can add. But I don't know.
What's relevant? I mean, Splatoon.
I hope they put Splatoon in there.
Really?
That'd be really cool.
But did you play it?
My brother did.
Okay.
And I played it with him, which was cool.
Huh.
I
I
didn't.
have it. I still gotta play it.
I enjoyed it. It was interesting. It was very different.
I got it for Christmas last year, and I still gotta play it.
I think you should play it. I think it's time you crack that open.
What what would be some dream ones would be Banjo and Kazooie,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and for me, Shantae.
Shantae.
Yeah, from Shantae.
Yeah. I know what it's from.
And
It's just interesting that you say that.
I would really like to see Shovel Knight now that
Oh yes, Shovel Knight.
he could definitely make a character out of Shovel Knight. He has a lot of moves.
Oh yes, they can. That would be fun. I love that game, everybody. That game is awesome. Shovel
Yeah.
Knight. They're coming out new DC soon. I hope. I saw the tree. You see the preview for it?
Yes,
I can't
with
wait.
Spectre Knight.
I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
And they still have one with King Knight coming out too.
I know. For some reason, this took a really long time with the DLC.
I'm
but
wondering what they're gonna do with the chests because Plague Knight took place like during, but all his levels were right before Shovel Knight got to the level.
yeah.
So
yeah.
like he would open the chest, and wouldn't he
And
put
steal
something?
the items.
Yeah.
He took the item.
No, there was a guy in there. He would sell the items to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
He put the items in there, and
yeah,
Shovel
but
Knight
where did
picked
he
them up.
get the items from? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I think he bought them. It's been a long time since I played it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I'm wondering how Spectre Knight's playthroughs of the levels will fit in with that.
It's going to be interesting. He looks
Yeah.
like a very and the preview for it looked
He
extremely
also looks
complex.
like he has a partner.
Yeah. It looked very complex, right? Like the maneuverability and I've done the challenges for the games, but like this looks really like complex of a character, just move wise and technical wise. So it should be really interesting. You know, I don't even know. It should be really interesting. That's all I could say.
I'm excited.
I know. I'm excited too. It's gonna be fun. I haven't played it in a long time, so it's gonna be hard getting back into it. But
I mean,
But it's
it's
good.
gonna feel right at home.
hits you right here.
I'm gonna be like, wait, what happened in the last two?
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
may
have to play them again.
Yeah, I may have to replay the old ones just to see, just to kind of combine them into one storyline at that point. But maybe they'll be nice and add a little prologue to it to tell
There's
you what's
one
going
thing
on.
I'm a little upset about, and that's the fact that since Shovel Knight was on different systems and they added in secret bosses for different systems, we'll never get to have all those secret bosses in one game.
I know.
Like Battletoads.
Yeah. That's
Kratos.
That was unfortunate.
And who was in the Nintendo one?
That was it.
There wasn't a Nintendo one?
No, there wasn't. There was Battletoads.
They were
And
they were
Kratos.
on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah,
one.
and the one for Kratos was for PlayStation, and then there was nothing. Well, I think they have the
Well, the Wii U got a multiplayer mode.
Wii U got a multiplayer.
Though
mode.
I don't know if there was a multiplayer mode on the other one.
There wasn't,
Okay.
and there's not going to be. I think gender swap is for everything.
Probably. That's
I'm
gonna
not
be interesting.
sure, But there was nothing for the DS, and that you got to show some love for the DS. I love the DS.
Me
So
too.
hopefully, at some point there'll be a huge update for everything, and then all characters will be available for all systems, which will be nice. Because I'd love to
Maybe
kick the
we'll
crap
get
out
a
of Kratos.
sequel.
Maybe.
I doubt we would get Kratos on 3DS.
I hope we do. I want
Or
to kick the shit. I want to
Battletoads.
kick the shit out of Kratos.
Do you think that those companies would push to be like, yeah, let's put Kratos on the 3DS?
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, obviously the reason they didn't was because you're talking about a Nintendo system, and
Quiet dog.
you must have spooked her talking about Shovel Knight. But
She's excited to play.
yeah, I guess she's excited to play it. Yeah.
She's like, they better put it on.
They should. I hope they do. Will they? I don't know. But I guess it's free advertising for PlayStation and for Xbox if they do.
You would think so.
I can't see what the harm is in
For-
doing that.
For the handheld, since the 3DS is like the handheld,
Yeah.
and since Sony seems to be ditching the Vita,
Yeah.
and Microsoft doesn't have a handheld,
Yeah.
I don't see why they can't all come together.
Advertise on the handheld system.
Like I know Sony had games on the Game Boy Advance.
I mean, there's this whole
I remember Crash Bandicoot on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
So why can't
Well,
we have
it has to. It stems from this console war that's going on, and quite frankly,
It's
there really doesn't
pissing
need to
me
be a console war anymore. I mean, you get the console you can afford to get, and the one with the games, and the one that your friends are on, and then you have fun. There shouldn't be any issue.
That's the fun thing about third party, maybe third party companies. I guess third party.
'Cause they're on all systems.
Yeah, that's the benefit of that.
It's too bad they
because
suck.
they're not. Yeah, they're not.
It's too bad third parties are not that good. I don't want to go bass fishing on my PlayStation.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Capcom.
Oh,
on
okay.
all
Yeah,
systems.
yeah.
I mean,
okay,
game
like stuff like
developers
that.
who are not
not like Farm Simulator.
I mean, game developers who are not stuck with one
Yeah.
company, like Microsoft bought Rare, so
Yeah.
Rare can only do stuff on
Yeah.
Xbox. Or
I apologize if anybody likes to play Farm Simulator. I know it's a big thing right now, but no, I get you. What?
yeah,
Yep, some people love it, but
I don't even know what it is.
it's a farm simulator. It doesn't get any more simple than that. But speaking of Crash Bandicoot, they just remade Crash Bandicoot.
I gotta see the trailer. I still didn't watch the trailer
Oh
yet.
my god! Well, it's a remake of all of the Crash Bandicoot games, the first three, 1, 2, and Warped. And for anybody out there who played Crash Bandicoot when they were a kid or whenever, I mean the graphics look amazing.
They redid everything.
They literally redid it from scratch, just the same game but in HD graphics, and it just looks fantastic. It didn't even look blocky. It didn't look grainy. It looks like a PlayStation 4 game. It looks awesome. I'm so
Wow.
stoked. I'm so
What's it
stoked.
for?
PlayStation. It's a PlayStation game.
PlayStation 4.
4, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm stoked. I can't wait. And it's all 3 games in one.
And I never played them, so I'm gonna have to.
Get out of here.
It's all new. Okay.
You better go play. Yeah, get out.
I'm off my podcast.
This is your house, but get out.
Get out of here, yeah, this is the first episode where we're recording on the same device.
Yeah.
Duby came to my house
Yeah.
just for this podcast.
Yeah,
guys.
I
Feel special.
know. Yeah, I do feel special. Thank you.
Well, I meant the viewers feel special.
oh, the
that
viewers.
Duby,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you.
They
feel
should.
special
They should
too.
feel special.
I always feel special.
You are special.
Indeed. There was other stuff I want to talk about, but we're gonna be hitting the hour mark in a bit, so we could kind of just start wrapping it up.
Okay, that sounds good.
I would say, Duby, where can they find you? But you don't really do many social media things.
I'm on Facebook if anybody wants to reach me. I don't know.
The extension was Matthew.Duberman.
Yes, Matthew.Duberman. Duberman is D like David, U B like boy, ERMAN. So you can find me on Facebook if you like. But I don't have many other social medias, so you'll have to reach me through Andrew. Precariously through Andrew.
And rather than cite them all the links are in the description if you're listening on SoundCloud. or on YouTube, and there's links to the other and other stuff.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Any last words?
Thank you, everybody. Pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, Andrew. And I'll come back. We'll do this again. And everybody, play on. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
All right.
So, as always, good gaming and good night.
Good night, everybody.